Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Everybody Eats podcast. It's your host, Bensky Belazaire. We're here with co-host Edom Ekpi, and we are joined today with a wonderful guest today, Miss Giovanna Dessein. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. So, before we get started, make sure you follow us on all platforms. On Instagram, that's everybodyeats.pod. On Twitter, EBE Pod. Make sure you're following us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, we're on there. We got new episodes. We got some heat dropping, so make sure you're tuning in.
Are we on YouTube?
We are on YouTube. Make sure you follow our YouTube channel as well. Like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that good stuff. That's where we have the videos, so you can actually see our faces and stuff like that. So make sure you tune in on all platforms, and keep listening. Tell your friends, tell a friend. All right. So if we could start today's episode, Miss Giovanna Dessein, if you could briefly introduce yourself, where you're from, what do you do, and talk about this wonderful bottle that I got over here. If you could tell people what that's about.
Yes. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm super excited. So a little bit about myself. A lot of people don't know this about me, actually, but I was born in Texas. I was born in a small town called Abilene, Texas. And I lived between Texas and New Jersey growing up. So, I associate myself with both states. And so I'm 25 years old right now. I work as a wealth management advisor during the day. So I create investment strategies for people who are trying to reach certain goals. And then by night, I am a sea moss curator. So I have my brand new business of sea moss, selling sea moss gel. And, the reason why I really, wanted to get into sea moss is because, it's a really a funny story. Do we have time to go over that right now? Or?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, so it's a really funny story. So the way I like to describe it is sea moss came to me 3 different times, okay? So the first time, there's a man at my church, and I always go on Facebook stories, and I make little smoothies, and I'm like a little chef in there. And then he commented, and he's like, you should add sea moss in there. And I was like, I'm gonna do my research on it. I keep seeing everybody talk about sea moss, but I'm gonna do my research, and then we're gonna revisit that topic, okay? And so I did my research, and I was like, wow, this has a lot of benefits. I should really be adding this to my smoothie, So I looked around the Hampton Roads area. I finally found a lady who sold it. So I went and I got some, right? And so months later, I've been using it in my smoothies like crazy, like all the time. And so my friend, she's like, Giovanna, you always talk about sea moss. You need to start selling sea moss. So that's the second time sea moss came to me, okay? And so I was like, well, no, it's not I'm all about seasons, So I was like, it's not my season to sell sea moss right now. It's just not my season. Let me focus on something else, And so she was like, all right, Giovanna, if you say so. So then the third time sea moss came to me was, so someone on Facebook made a Facebook post about, what did you guys eat for breakfast? And I commented on there. I had a banana and peanut butter smoothie. It sounds nasty, but it's actually really, really good. And so he responded. He was like, oh, you should put some sea moss in there. And I was like, oh, well, I usually put sea moss in my my fruit smoothies, like a pineapple or like a strawberry, mango, blueberry type of thing. You know, banana's fruit, but I just kind of do it that way, right? And so he inboxed me. He's like, well, how would you feel about selling it? So I was like, this is 3 times. It's a sign, So he helped me get started selling sea moss, and that's kind of how we're here right now. So I thought, what better way to be a sea moss seller than myself, because I love it so much, and I actually can attest to what it's, done for me personally. So, that's how we're here today. So, yeah.
Definitely. So, no, that's good to hear. I mean, things happen.
Yeah. I mean, 3 times, especially the way it happened to you, that's definitely a sign.
Yeah. So I'm glad. Yeah. And this all happened, I think you told me last month, 2 months ago?
So the first instance was about in May.
Okay.
And then my friend inboxed me. My friend told me to start selling about, I think, June, July. Yeah. And then the individual inboxed me like a month and a half ago to start selling it. And then he helped me really build the business. So, that's how we got things going there.
Got you. So it seems like it's pretty quick. So that actually kind of covers what I want to talk about is the upward trend, at least from what I've seen, of Black-owned businesses, right? And I think especially...
I feel like it's Black, and at least from what I've seen, minority too.
Black and minority. I think, especially since I think I've been more, quote unquote, in tune with that probably within the last 2 years or so since we started Guilty. But I think, at least more recently, I just feel like I've seen it more, quote unquote, popular, more it popping up a little bit more.
Trendy,
right?
Right.
And I kind of want to ask you, like, or, you know, this is open up to both. Like, how do you feel about that trend? Do you think there is a trend? Do you think it's something that's just like here and like here to stay? Do you think it's here to, you know, and it's just fleeting? Is it just like, you know, trying to make a quick buck? So like, how you guys feel about that?
I actually have a lot to say about it. So I'm actually really happy that, you know, and I'm sure you guys are too. I'm just happy that there's this new found love to be your own business, you know, and it's kind of weird because now it's like before you're supposed to grow up, go to college, get a job, and just kind of stay on your job for like 35 years, and then you're considered successful. But in the Black community, like we are now learning about real estate investments. We're now learning about having our own business, what it means to build economic wealth in the Black community, and what it means to keep our Black dollar within ourselves, you know? So I'm hoping that it's not just a trend, a little hashtag Black owned business, but I'm hoping that it's something that we can really, you know, build on, you know, for the coming years, for our generations to come. Because just imagine if we have children who don't have to stress about going to college just to get a job, just to be successful, but they actually get a chance to really understand, okay, what do I want to pursue in life right now? Do I want to be a doctor? Okay, that's going to require college. Or do I want to have a construction company? That's going to require a lot of like trade and you know, understanding about different things like that. That's not really my field. I can't talk about it, but you know, it's just like when you have money that you don't have to go out and work for at such a young age, you're able to really sit down and figure out, okay, where do I want to take my life? It's not just what's going to pay me the most money so I can just be all right. You know what I'm saying? Because then your life just goes by so fast. You make all this money and then it's just like, you know, what was the point of it? So, you know, I do think that Black owned businesses should, you know, come together more. I know in the Hampton Roads area, they have like Black owned business week where they highlight different restaurants. I think that's really good too. So I'm just excited about this new, I guess, uprising of Black owned business. I just hope that it still stays the same and that we can really teach our children at home, like how to start a business if they want to go that route, you know?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I personally think, you know, unfortunately, I do think it's a trend. It's kind of what's popular, it's what's in now, especially because of what happened, you know, over the summer. I feel like everybody kind of put their social justice hat on and they're all, you know, kind of like, which isn't a bad thing, of course, but they're all rallying behind, you know, Black, brown, minority communities. And I think a byproduct of that is, you know, support Black owned business and everyone is starting to actually sit down and do some real research in terms of the power of the Black dollar and keeping that within the community. So it's positive, but I also do think it's not going to last long. You know, you saw in the 90s, people always talk about the 90s. There's a lot of like movies and TV shows that are, you know, popping off and produced, you know, Family Matters, Martin, you know, everything, you know what I'm talking about. So
yeah,
I think this is like, maybe we're at the beginning of it, of course, but I feel like this is like another like surge or like a reoccurrence of that. But I say eat up on it. Everybody should just take advantage. You know, whether America or everybody else is feeling guilty for what's going on, I think we should just take advantage of it, whether that be, especially in businesses. So
I feel like it might be a mix of both. One, like I love to see the trend. Or I guess I love to see the trend. I think to an extent right now, entrepreneurship kind of just like has that sexy kind of cool look. You know what I'm saying? Like even with like Forex traders, right? You know what I'm saying?
The
like
idea of not working for somebody.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how, like for Forex trading, like, you know, at least I don't know if you get them, but you probably gonna bounce this. Now that you start posting, you're probably gonna start getting them a lot. But it's like, yo, like, you know, after meeting so-and-so, I changed my life, you know, by trading on Forex. I made $5,000 a week, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like how Forex trading kind of like had a trend and was kind of popular. I feel like there is a somewhat like, you know, little season for, you know, saying like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, like if you're going to pick up a trend, at least let it be positive. Exactly. And like you said, like this is stuff that, you know, obviously, you know, I can't speak bad about it because I myself am part of the trend myself, you know what I'm saying? So I could say that, one thing that got me personally into starting a podcast on the Flow of the Mind is seeing other people do it as well. So I'm part of the trend, so I'm not like talking bad on anyone else. But like I was saying, like if it's going to be a trend, at least it'd be positive, teaching people, and even if say you do someone does like start a business and then not, say carry on or like they quit or anything like that, at least they have that experience of starting one in the first place, and you can never replace that experience. You know what I'm saying? So even if you start, you go venture into, learning about real estate and you feel like it's not about yourself, at least you learn that, and no one can ever take that away from you. And maybe later on in life, it could reapply. Maybe like you said, maybe later on it'll be a better season. You know what I'm saying? And so the stuff that you learn now can still apply. So,
you know what I think?
Yeah.
I just want to add to that. I think also since like March, like me personally, I haven't been to work since March, and so a lot of people are still at working from home. And so during this period, they have so much free time. So they're like, okay, so what can I do that's like a hobby? Like maybe I can learn a new hobby and maybe make money from doing this, something that's different from work, because like making sea moss is completely different from what I do, so it's just like something that's completely different and it's fun. So, some people are learning Forex and they're becoming successful at it. I have some cousins that are doing Forex, and I just get so proud of them when I see them with their little videos and their inspirational talks. And then, they're my little cousins. So, it just makes me so happy. So, I think during this time, it's just like, we got so much time on our hands, like, maybe I can explore certain things, new things, learn new stuff, so things like that.
Definitely. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see where it goes. You know what I mean? Like I know for myself personally, I'm blessed to have a corporate job, so to speak. But I know that especially, after the past couple of months, I'm like, this is not like working a 9 to 5 is just not something I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. Like to me, like I this quote unquote trend of having your own business or everything like that, like having something on my own that could, bring me money enough to eat, survive and stuff like that. Like I need to do that. Like I need to be self-employed. I need to be able to control that. So I think that this power of ownership and stuff like that, like I think it's important for people to hear. And I'm glad that they're hearing it, and that it's spreading.
Yeah.
For sure. So more about you and your journey. I'm interested, right? So I'm not gonna say like I'm a vet in entrepreneurship. I've only been here in 2 years, but
that's a good time. That's a good time frame.
Thank you. But within those 2 years, I've learned a lot, like about myself, about my, about myself, about my work ethic, what I like, what I don't like, meeting people, and learning every day. So I'm interested in you. What are you looking forward to, or what are you looking forward to learning either about yourself or about the business as someone who recently started?
That's a really good question. So I'm looking forward to just seeing what it takes to expand, because I have really big like dreams for this. It's not just something that I would just want to have a cute little Instagram, post my little pictures every now and then, even though the Instagram is popping. Okay. I'm not even going to hold it. Real cute. I got my aesthetics going on. We got a cute couple of posts, so I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I like them.
Okay. But like, I want to see what it could grow into, how big it can get. Like I got different, just different views of, just sea moss in general. People think it's just a little gel that you put in your smoothies, but it could be something so much bigger. So I'm just really just like, I'm very spiritual. So, I pray all the time and I ask God to really lead me, how should I go about this sea moss business? Because if it was up to me, I'll do a whole bunch of stuff, but I want to make sure that I'm in alignment with what it's supposed to be and not what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, that goes with a lot of just being patient and really just being relaxed. And, it's a beautiful thing when I wake up and I got like sales coming to my phone. I'm like, yo, that's mad lit. Like this morning, like I literally woke up and I had like notifications of sales, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, wow, like, thank you, God. I'm just so grateful to God. So I'm just really just waiting to see where God will take this. But my mentor was telling me, he was like, sometimes we pray to God and it's just like, we got to give God something to actually bless, So that's what I'm here to do. I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm just looking to see, what can I give to God that he can bless, to make something bigger. And I just want to make sure I'm in my purpose right now. So, right now I'm just ready to see what it'll be, So it's just so much you know, I just got some orders just now. That's why I'm looking up and down.
Yeah.
God is so good. God
Yeah.
is so good. All praises to God, you know.
Wow.
So
That's definitely amazing.
yeah.
So that kind of just reminds me of something we spoke about on the podcast before, just the idea of like faith without works is dead. Like,
Exactly.
you know, like I pray for, you know, God, lead me when it comes to the podcast, Kilty, to make sure I'm, you know, going the path I need to go. But at the same time, it's like, he's like you said, you got to give him something to bless. Like, you need to be doing the work, you know, for him to bless, you know what I'm saying? So that's all we can do in the meantime, while we're being patient and waiting for things to, you know, to play out, is being consistent, putting in that work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
It could be, you know, like quick returns, like, you know, right off the bat, or it could be something that you have to wait a couple months or a couple years.
Exactly.
But you know, regardless of how it is, it's, you know, putting in that work and that consistency in the meantime.
Right. Exactly. Yep. I agree.
So definitely. So I'm excited for you. I'm glad.
Thank you.
So yeah. We'll go more into CMOS in the second segment, but this is definitely the first time, you know, I've had it, so I'm definitely really excited about it. So
yeah, I'm laughing because of that whole mix-up at the event. You're like, wait, somebody took my CMOS.
Yeah, yeah. So real quick,
your face expression, you were like a little kid, and I felt so bad. I was like, oh my god.
No, because I kind of felt bad too. So I forgot what was the original flavor I purchased.
It was La Jolie Moss. So the one you have now is still La Jolie Moss. It's just the way I made it is it's those two put together. So thank God it was that one and not like La Moss Foncée, where you have to actually make that with tea and like you got to infuse it. So I was like, thank God I can make this for him, because I felt so bad.
Yeah, so I bought a bottle of the sea moss, and I left it like on the table. So then I think we were talking about like smoothies or something else, and then but I accidentally, like, someone took the bag. So I was like, oh, yeah. Like, yo, I just bought the bottle and I lost it. Like, I felt
and
like
it's so crazy because like I packaged it up, I put the little card in there, nice little gift bag, and then my cousin came back and said, oh yeah, Gigi, I'm gonna buy another. I said, okay, cool. And I was like, well, why does this already have the bag in there and everything is all? I was like, okay, well, you could buy this one. So then like 10 minutes later, he's like, wait, has somebody seen my CMOS?
So
I made a mistake.
But yeah, then she made me a fresh batch. Like, she had the two flavors like already ready, so she just made me a fresh jar. So
yeah.
So I think I still won in the end. So
yes.
So on that note, we'll go into the second segment. Go to our quote of the day. And we'll end it off talking about more CMOS. So give me a sec. All right, take your time. All right, so segment 2 for today's episode. Eden, we got that quote. Let's give it.
All right, so the quote is, titles ain't shit if the story don't match it.
Oh, I like that one.
I don't know.
I like that one.
Who said it?
Titles ain't shit if the story doesn't match it.
Sounds like a rap lyric.
Yeah, it's a rap
lyric. I like that one. I like that one. You want me to speak on it, how I feel about it?
I mean,
first we gotta try and guess who said it, but I have no clue.
Oh.
Oh, my fault. I didn't even explain. But
I'm just sitting there like, I like that one.
I mean, usually I say a quote, and then usually you guys guess who it's from, and then we kind of talk on it. But do you have any guesses?
Meek Mill?
No.
No clue.
Up more.
North. I want to say Joey.
No. Nah. Same borough.
Same borough. Davies.
Wait. Which borough?
Brooklyn, right?
Oh, Joey's Brooklyn. Yeah,
Joey's
my fault.
Brooklyn,
I said Davies.
so.
Brooklyn.
So
Jay?
Brooklyn rapper? No.
Biggie?
No. They're still alive.
Fab?
Still alive.
Yeah.
Fabulous?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Fabulous. I love Fabulous. I just don't know that quote.
I don't know that.
All right, so it was on it was off of Situationships from Soul Tape 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Shit, the story don't match it.
So, you said you got something to say? Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. It's a lot of people that want to, have the title. They want the cute little like brands, but like they don't want to put the work to actually do it, And like, I just have so many stories of just knowing certain individuals who would want to like be on the forefront of things. But then when it was actually time to do the actual work, or like, you know, it was just non-existent, you know?
Yeah.
So me, like, before I, you know, graduated college, I did a lot of like women empowerment events and all that stuff. And so I'm all about being like for real with that type of stuff. You know, I don't want to just get up there and say I'm the X, Y, and Z, I'm this person, you know. Are you going to put in work behind it? Do you have some experience to share with that? It's just not about cute little dresses and tea. You know, I'm all about actually putting in the work, you know. So that's just how I feel about it. So
100%.
Yeah.
I agree. I think even for me, the kind of the first thing that stands out is like leadership positions. I think about kind of like in school and like NABA and like being like club leaders and things like that, right? So you know, while I was, you know, while I was involved in NABA, whichever year, like we got to interact with a lot of other club leaders and organization leaders, and you know, seeing people who, even the name, like the title president, you know, some people, you know, are so hung up on the title of being president, but are you putting in the work that make you a good president? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it can be anything just because you're named president. You know, we know instances where the president is pretty much like a figurehead of the club, where the president does nothing. It's like the vice president, secretary, and everybody else who does all the work. And it's like, all right, cool, like you're president, but no one really like respects you that much because we know you don't really do the work behind it. So that's kind of like the first thing that kind of that pops into my head.
I mean, yeah, that's the same thing. Like, you can't call yourself, you can't walk the walk if you don't talk the talk, essentially. So,
exactly.
Literally, if you can't, if you're given a role of responsibility and your actions don't match that, you know, what do you're looked at differently. You know, everybody's gonna look at you. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And plus everything seems very forced. It's not natural, you know? But when you put in the work to actually like do your research on something, or like just put the work in general, everything comes natural to you. You know what I'm saying? Like just the other day I had a friend and he had the nerve and the audacity, you know, to ask me to research some all natural products so that he can sell on his line. I said, excuse me. I said, when you do the research and you go and you read and you Google and you search and you do all of that stuff, and when people throw you questions, you're gonna be able to answer because you did all the research, and you're gonna know the difference between the natural products and the processed products. I said, I'm not gonna do that for your business, you know, because then you want to be the huge image and you want to get all the big sales and this, that, and the third. But it's just like, I'm not going to do all of that, especially if you're not paying me no money. Like, where's the check?
That's a fact.
You gotta eat. Everybody eats, you know?
That's a fact.
Can't let her be Simone.
I love B. Simone, okay? I love her. So.
That's a fact. Nah, bro,
You know.
bro. You gotta be putting in the work if you're gonna be one that title and things like that. So I think I don't know where I saw it. I'm not even sure where. I don't know if I saw it on Instagram, if I saw it on Twitter. I don't know if it was Alan. I don't know. Somebody said it, but they were talking about how even like when it comes to companies, I think it was like Bill Gates didn't call himself like the CEO of Microsoft until like 15 years running the company. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
Like, you know,
some posts that people throw around the word CEO.
Yeah. So even myself,
today we were talking about
even myself, like I used to kind of like even on like social media, I put like CEO of Kilty, but to be honest, I just put CEO because it looks cool and everybody else has it. You know what I'm saying? But then I kind of just saw that post and it kind of like talked about kind of like, you know, humility and like putting in the work and not getting too hung up on titles. I was like, dang, like you know, that kind of hit something. So like from there, I'm like, all right, I'm more like. I like founder. Founder is like, I think that's what they said, like Bill Gates was just, he was just going as like the founder of Microsoft, you know what I'm saying? Not like CEO or anything like that, and like throwing that name around. So that's something that kind of hit me, and that kind of relates back to that quote a little bit, even when it comes to business, not getting too hung up on, oh, I'm the CEO, I'm the X of that, you know what I'm saying? It's more like, if it's your business, like it doesn't matter what the title is, put in the work and people are gonna respect you.
Right, exactly. I agree.
So, yeah. I know if you say it one more time, then we'll go to the last segment.
Titles ain't shit if the story don't match it. Fabulous.
All right, let's do it.
Yes.
All right, so now for our last segment, we'll talk more about CMOS. All right.
Yay,
So
my
me
favorite.
personally, I've never had sea moss. I've heard about it. I've seen people sell it online. I've been, now that I'm like living by myself, I've been a little bit more health conscious, not like too crazy, but like I'm like baby steps, you know. We're talking about first it was the almond milk. Then it was ginger lemonade. So shout out to Carl Hale for the ginger lemonade.
Ooh, I
Then,
love ginger lemonade.
yeah, you gotta check out that Carl Hale. It's good as hell.
Yes.
For sure. So first it was the ginger lemonade, then it was the almond milk, and now it's sea moss. So I'm taking baby steps.
Oh my gosh, yo! I keep looking at it. I think about the first time I tried it, and I don't know.
Honestly, if the sound plop looked like anything, it'd be this.
Wow.
Sound plop look like anything. That'd be it.
But
However, it might be a plop. However, it's all about internal repair, you know, and that's what I want to talk about when it comes to being health conscious. He threw his head back. He's like, oh, here we go. But I really want to highlight this. When it comes to being health conscious, it's a new journey. So you got to have a new perspective. You got to have a new mindset. So before, I used to consume stuff because it tasted good, it looked good, it looked normal. You know what I'm saying? But now these foods you eat have been manipulated to make us believe that this is normal food. You know, so when you're on this new journey of being healthy, you're going to have to consume some things that don't necessarily taste good, but it's good for your insides. It's good for your body. And once you can step out of your mind, I believe it's mind over matter. Once you can step out of that, you can have discipline. You can have control over anything. You know what I'm saying? So the sea moss might look strange. That's why I recommend to put it in a smoothie. So that way you can just disperse any weird taste you might have from that sea moss, and you can get all those minerals that come from the sea moss. Because think about it, it's a multivitamin that grows in the ocean. So anytime you have a multivitamin of anything, these companies, these factories, they make these gummy bears that are not good for your digestive tract. You know, why not get it from the ocean that you could just put into your smoothie? You know what I'm saying? So.
Got it. So if you can speak a little bit more on the benefits and the uses of sea moss, so listeners who don't know anything about it, so they can learn and be more woke.
Right. Okay. So I watch a lot of videos by Dr. Sebi. So first and foremost, ode to Dr. Sebi. And one of the main things he talked about was many of the ailments in the body come from mucus and inflammation. All right. Those two things. Right. So what sea moss does, I'm looking down because I have some right here. What sea moss does is it helps get rid of all that mucus, and it helps with inflammation of the body. So when you have mucus, your body is more prone to get, you know, a lot of different diseases, colds, just a lot of different bad stuff. Right. So what sea moss does is it takes that out. So it helps with thyroid. It helps build your immune system. It helps with your hair, your skin, your nails. I don't really like to characterize it as like it's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know, I like to characterize it as anytime the body gets all the nutrients that it needs, it's going to properly function. You know, and so sea moss itself, the body needs 102 minerals. Sea moss alone carries 92 of those minerals. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to get your minerals just from food alone. Think about it. Most of us eat Chick-fil-A and we call it a day, or we might get some Mexican food, which is good. That's my favorite, you know. But then just think, and some Dairy Queen, but just think about it though. Are we getting those minerals that our body needs? You know what I'm saying? So when we turn 50 or 60, we're not walking around with, you know, these ailments that we could have prevented now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love sea moss, because like the way I've seen it personally work in my life is I went through this really like crazy adult acne phase from like 2016 up until this year, 2020, right? And so I would literally have to wear makeup, and I would go back and forth to the doctors. They gave me antibiotics back and forth, back and forth. Those antibiotics was like making me have these bad like symptoms, you know, like I forgot what it's called, but I had to go back and forth to the hospital just because of the antibiotics, you know? So it was a never ending cycle. They put me on clindamycin, which was like a topical treatment. That took my acne all away, you know? Next thing I know, 3 months later, it came back with a vengeance, you know? And so really, in March, when we went into quarantine, that's when I really started to be much more healthier. And that's when the guy from my church inboxed me about sea moss. And so when I started seeing how I was taking it internally, I was like, yo, like, it's like internal repair, because now my face is not like acting up, you know? And so like, I'm probably going to post some before and after pictures on my page. I got to muster up the courage to do that. But it's just like, when I show my friends and my family, they're like, yo, that's crazy. Because like, even I was on FaceTime earlier today, and the person was like, are you wearing makeup? And I'm like, no, I don't got no makeup. I got makeup on right now. But I'm just saying before, I was like, that's crazy how I used to put on like concealer just to get on FaceTime because I was so uncomfortable with myself. And now I'm able to get on FaceTime or video or whatever without. So I've seen sea moss really just repair my skin, and it's crazy. Like once you see those before and after pictures, you're gonna be like, yo, like this is insane. So, you know, I put it in my smoothies, but you know, I'm bold enough nowadays, so I just take it right back, you know. So that's how that goes. So
Gotcha. Because I know you mentioned that it can be used as a what's it called? Face
mask?
Right, face mask, or you do it internally. So when you're using it to treat acne, were you using it as a face mask, or was it internally that was helping it?
So it was really internally because my acne, I'm a firm believer that good skin comes from within. Now, my acne was coming from internal. Like, it was something that was internal that was just going wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I was taking antibiotics back and forth. Nothing was really working, you know? And so once I was able to take the sea moss and get all my nutrients, it's like the acne just magically went away, you know? It took a couple of weeks, but it did it, you know, slowly but surely. Now, as far as the topical, if you want to use it as a facial mask, what it does is it takes away the dead skin and it'll tighten your pores up. So some people have problems with pores just being a little open. And that way, you know, their skin is prone to getting acne. So what it does is it's like a natural facial lift and it'll close your pores up. So, you know, I use it as a mask. I don't use it as often as some people do, but, you know, I just see a lot of results for myself just putting it in a smoothie, you know, and just calling it a day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So, so now if you could talk about, you know, you personally, like, I guess like your business specifically, or I know at the, essentially, at the product launch, you did a demonstration of how to use it as a face mask, and you had it in the smoothie. So could you describe just like the quick steps of how to use it as a face mask, and then I guess like smoothie tips on like like personal smoothie tips or anything suggestions that you have.
Right. So as a facial mask, what you want to do is you want to get a nice warm cloth. Okay. You want to wet it with water, make sure it's nice and warm, and you want to put it up against your skin. So once you do that, it's going to open up your pores, right? So you can get all the sea moss goodness, okay? So after that, you want to get your, either the turmeric that I offer, the turmeric, which is La Mosse Dior, or the La Mosse Original, which is the original one. You want to get that, and you want to put it all over your face like you would do like makeup in a sense, you know? And so I recommend leaving it on for about 30 minutes so you can get it like really soaked into the skin. And so it's going to be like a scaly, like figure on your face, right? So when you smile, it's kind of like gonna break. It's gonna look really nasty. It's gonna look nastier than the sea moss jar, okay? So yes, once you do that, then you're gonna just wash it off. You're gonna take the wet cloth and just wash it off normally, just with water at first. And then you wanna take a nice soap, a cleanser to just kind of go back through and just wash everything off by itself, right? So that's what you wanna do. And then me personally, I go back in with the toner like witch hazel or witch hazel, and then I go back in with the cleanser to just kind of a moisturizer to just kind of, you know, put the moisture back into my face. That's what I do.
Gotcha. And how often should people be doing that?
So I recommend once a month, but about 3 days out of the month. So if you're going to do like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that, not like Thursday, week 1, Friday, week 2, like don't spread it all out like that. You want to do it together like that, like once a month, a couple of days out of the month. So that's what I recommend.
Gotcha. Is there a reason for that?
I just think it's better results instead of just trying to do it like once and then like go weeks later without doing it. You want to like do it closely together so that it can work better instead of just kind of being sporadic with it, you know?
Got it.
Yeah.
Questions?
No, I'm just thinking about how like, you know, her process compared to my face process. So it's like, I'm like, my head doing math and all that stuff.
What's your process?
I mean, my sister gave me a whole bunch of products. So I wash my face. I use the witch hazel toner. My mom bought me some vitamin C pads.
Okay.
Face, and then I have like some face serum and different kinds of face masks. I use one once a week, and I use another one as many times back to back if I want to. But I was thinking about what you said. A couple of days out of the week instead of once every week. And, you know, I've been thinking like, I feel like once every week just doesn't cut it for certain.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's some gems dropping right there. And then for smoothies, right? So I'm not too big of a smoothie. A smoothie, that's another thing. I'm taking baby steps, right? So I made myself a smoothie the other day and I put some sea moss. It was good. So, but the smoothies you made the other day, they were banging, right? So, like, if how, like, what would you put in your personal smoothies, and like, you know, any suggestions for like, I know you got different flavors, right? So you had one that was like, you know, you got a smoothie that was like more fall, and then you had like another fruity one. So if you could talk about your little like mixtures over there.
So I like to just kind of play around with my smoothies. You know, I'm not really a smoothie connoisseur. You know, to be honest, half the time I just be winging it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I wing it, it comes out good. So I just be like, okay, let's go. Like, what's up? So one of my favorite smoothies is mango, blueberry, and strawberry. But I use that one at the event. However, at the event, I use coconut water because some people don't like apple juice. But I like to put apple juice in mine as the base, you know? And so it really gives me that. But hear me out, though. You know, when you go to those really fancy smoothie places and they charge you like $8 for a little, you know, that's the kind of vibe it gives me when I put the apple juice in the ice. And then I like to put the original sea moss into the smoothie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that way I can barely taste it. It tastes mad good. You know, it's all good. And so that's one of my favorites. And then as far as the Dior, so that was a little bit more unique because, you know, turmeric has a little bit of a savory taste, right? So I recommend with that one, you know, doing a smoothie with like carrots or like apples or like a mango or something like that. Something that's along the lines of like that turmeric type of taste, you know? And you can add any base you want to that one. Water, I think water would be the best base for that. And then I always sweeten my smoothies with agave nectar, you know? I think it's a little bit more healthier than the honey. So I do sweeten my smoothies with agave nectar. And then I love my banana smoothies. So I love the banana. I just made a banana and a peanut butter one this morning. Sounds nasty, but it was so good. Banana, peanut butter, almond milk, my chia and my flax seeds. Listen, we put everything up in there. And then I just blend it up and it's so good. You put your sea moss right in there. And it's so, with the banana, I would recommend using the original sea moss with that because you don't want to be a little, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I do that. Now, the elderberry sea moss that I have, I'm also going to say that one is excellent in tea because it's infused with tea. So I make it with the elderberry tea with ginger. You know, I make it all together and then I strain it out, the ginger out, everything like that. So it's already infused with tea. That goes really good with, you know, taking a spoonful, putting it right in your tea, stirring it up. You can't even really taste it, you know? So the whole idea of sea moss is to be able to just get as many nutrients as possible, you know? And if you can't take the taste, then you want to make sure that you can, you know, blend it up well or put it in a nice tea or a coffee or things like that, or a soup, you know? So whatever way that you can consume it, that works best for you, go for it. I just want to make sure that everybody can get these minerals because it's crazy. Like, the benefits I've seen for myself is just really good. So, and it's a natural product, you know, it came from God's earth. It's like, I don't got to manipulate the product any weird way. I don't got to add no additives. It's nothing, you know, it's just basically a sea vegetable, you know? Yeah. So that's the beautiful thing about it. It's not like some weird, like creepy thing that people think. It's just, it came from the earth. So, you know, that's what I really love about it too. So.
No, I love that. I can hear the passion in your voice, you know.
Thank you.
So I love that. So a few things. Agave nectar, yo, that's what I was trying to look for today. We were at Walmart today. I was trying to look for it. And I was by the honey. And I couldn't find it. And I was like, yo, again, like I don't think Walmart is the spot to be buying agave nectar. So I'm probably gonna get some online. Where did you get yours?
I got some agave nectar from Walmart, but you had to walk a little further than the honey. However, anytime you want to do something as far as like mad healthy, I would just recommend Whole Foods. You know, Whole Foods. I got the good amber agave, you know, and I'm speaking a lot on Whole Foods. You know, hopefully one day I get a sponsorship, you know, but one day I'm going to see sea moss by Giovanna and Whole Foods one day. So, but yes, I go to Whole Foods. I got what'd you say?
Soon come.
Yes, they got so much like agave nectar in there that you can choose from. So I just recommend going to Whole Foods for something like that, or try to order it on Amazon if you don't want to drive all the way out there, you know. So
gotcha. So so that's what I was looking for today. I
was looking like he lost some.
I couldn't find it. I went to taste it. I was like, yo, like again, that was the first time I had it at your event. I was like, yo, this is so good.
I love it.
It's better than honey. There's another point. Oh, okay. Then I want to ask. So you brought up your flavors for those who didn't follow along, could you describe all your flavors and I guess which one is best for what?
Right. Okay. So we have the original. That's just simple sea moss, nothing added, nothing taken out. It's just sea moss. So that one you can put into anything. You can put it into your coffee, your tea, your smoothie. You can cook with it in soups. That can go with anything, all right? So next, if you want like a little bit more of a flavor, so let's say you're a tea kind of person, I recommend La Mas Foncé. That foncé means like deeper color, means like dark in French, you know? So that's why I call it that, because when you look at it, it's a nice purple color. It's so cute. And so that one is good to go in tea. It's really beneficial because the elderberry is a really good antioxidant. So we're going into this flu season. They say we get another wave of coronavirus, you know, colds, but it's really good to build the immune system up to really, you know, fight off any bad bacteria. So that's why I really recommend that going into this season, you know. So that has the elderberry, that's infused with ginger and also sweetened with agave nectar. So when you get that one, you might not need to add too much sweetener to it because it's already sweetened with agave nectar, right? Yeah. So then that's that one. Then we have La Jolie Moss, which is one of my favorites. I'm actually between Foncé and La Jolie Moss. So I think I'm leaning more towards Foncé nowadays. But anyway, so La Jolie Moss is a mixture of turmeric and elderberry, right? And it's sweetened with agave nectar, and it's also infused with ginger too. So turmeric is really good as well, you know, fighting off any bad bacteria. It's a good anti-inflammatory. So that's kind of a mix of the Dior. So Dior, the next one is just straight up sea moss, Dior, turmeric, and it has infused with ginger as well. So like I said, that one is really good for like, you know, more savory kind of a smoothie. Like if you're gonna have like a carrot in there, like a more like a heartier type of smoothie. So yeah, so those are the 4 that we currently offer. And I also, it's called the fall collection. So that's why, you know, it's really good for us to go through the fall. So, you know, and in the wintertime, so in the spring, I'm hoping to have some nice fruity colors, some nice maybe pinks and some blues, you know, who knows? So, but right now we got to make sure our body is nice and strong, you know, playtime is over. We got to really gear up for this new flu season. So that's why, you know, we got these really, you know, beneficial flavors going on.
That's what's up. So yeah, make sure you guys get on the wave. So before I tell you to give like your socials, before we wrap up, is there any last points that you guys want to make or give or questions about CMOS or business?
So actually offline, if you could give one song that describes your passion and love for this sea vegetable.
I love the way you said that, sea vegetable, yes. Wow. I was going to say a Meek Mill song, but I don't really want to repeat it because I got curse words in it, but it's very inspirational, you know. But I'm going to go with Beyonce. So Beyonce, I think Dangerously in Love, you know. I'm so in love with CMOS right now, and I'm just like so passionate about it. And it's just like, it's really a beautiful thing. So that's why I chose Dangerously in Love. And it's just a big passion of mine now. So.
Can I hear the Meek Mill song though? We're all adults here. It's fine.
If we all grind, we all shine. A part-time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's that one. But you know, we're gonna keep it cute. It's a classy brand, so we're gonna keep it nice and classy. Okay, so
see, they got the pink bows. You see that?
Yes. Oh, and let me show you guys. So every package comes with the info card. Okay. So that's me. Thank you for your purchase. Oh, no, I was upside down. I'm sorry. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And then on the back, it shows the benefits and the uses. So when you purchase, you'll know how to use it, the benefits, things like that. So you're not kind of like, well, what was I supposed to use this for again? Yeah. You know how much you take per day, you know, things like that. So, yeah.
And who took your pictures?
Yes, Fabienne Bryant. She took my pictures. My former coworker, my neighbor now, she's right across the street, took my photos, my lovely pictures. Yes. And her @ is like Fabtography on Instagram.
So shout out for taking those pictures. And you mentioned that you had, there's a woman who helped with the cards or with the shipping, something like that?
Yes. Yes. So all of my printing, all of my shipping is right done downstairs. It's A+ mailbox, and they are Black owned. Shipping company, they offer just about anything. If you need to ship stuff out, if you need balloons for your party, if you need a card, if you need anything, they do it. They do what's the thing when you passports? They do everything down there. So you know, check them out.
I mean, that goes back to the Black business trend. You know what I'm saying? So seeing working that Black dollar around. I remember we had Black apparel. That was one thing that he was really big on and passing around that Black dollar within our community. So you love to see it, right? You love to see it.
We love to see it.
All right. So before we conclude, how can people find you on social media?
Yes.
What's your website? And any last, words you want to say to your future customers?
All right. So yes, my Instagram is CMOS by Giovanna. My Facebook is CMOS by Giovanna. And my website is cmosbygiovanna.com. So everything is the same exact thing. And as far as what I have to say about my customers, I do want to point out, cleaning sea moss is a very tedious process. It takes a few hours just to even clean the sea moss. So I want to let everybody know that if you want your sea moss to be done with love and care and patience and some Destiny's Child playing in the background, you definitely want to hit me up, because cleaning sea moss is not anything to play with. And one of the things I make sure I do is I have all the lights kind of shining down on my sink, so I can make sure I can really dissect the sea moss and clean it out properly. So all of our sea moss is very, 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 very clean. I do a very, very, extenuous cleaning process. So yes, you definitely want to make sure your sea moss is clean, because it comes straight from the ocean, and they don't clean it when they get it from the ocean. So yeah, so that's one of our really big, benefits of sea moss by Giovanna. It's very clean sea moss. So
yeah, love to hear it. Love to hear the work. So love to hear it. So again, is that anything else to do? Wrap it up. All right. So thank you very much, Giovanna, for joining us. I know we've been trying to plan this probably since November, December, but we did it. We did
it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we did it. And before, when we planned it out, I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but now I got something to talk about.
Perfect timing. Look at that.
Everything happens.
Yes.
Always a season.
Always a season. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
No, for sure. So it's great having you on. And I'm glad to see, you start and people starting, so.
Thank you.
I pray for much success, a lot of learning experiences, collaborations that you do, and all that good stuff. So I'm excited to see you grow.
Thank you.
For all the listeners, make sure you listening up on all platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are on there. And guys, we'll see you next week.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. You guys take care.